All right, so this will be a video regarding it's January 6th, 2022. Obviously, it's a year since the January 6th storming of the parliamentary buildings and that they call parliamentary down in the States. Yeah, there you go, I'm a Canadian. Yeah, anyways, the Capitol, where they tried to break up the Congress and stop them, or as Congress or Senate, they tried to stop from having their vote and certifying their election down there. So I'm a Canadian. I don't have a bias one way or another. I have like previous presidents from both parties. Examples: Reagan. I like Reagan, and see, I like Clinton because he was a smooth talker. But I liked Obama too. So what else did I like? I like the first of the what do you call it? The one that the son got 8 years and the father only got four. Um, the guy from Texas. I can picture him, but can't say his think of his name. It'll come to me, and I'll just yell it out when I say it when I remember. I like him too. He was a smart man. So anyway, why would I comment on this being a Canadian? Well, I actually have want to actually talk to the people. The voters. The regular Joes, the middle class of the world, the lower class too, middle class and upper class, but kind of more focused to the middle class because I think in many cases they were, be part of the riot group, being led and tricked somewhat. I think they were being tricked, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, you know, what seems to always happen is the focus gets diverted away from things like the greed, the rich people, the paying their fair share, that kind of stuff, and ends up being about, in this case, Donald not wanting to admit his defeat and trying to stay in power to the point that he was manipulating it before it even started, from all the evidence is coming in, and trying to get his vice president. To Pence to just declare, basically send back to 6 states that were closing, basically then have the politician or the I guess judges or whoever it is that can declare it over and above the voters, and that sucks for all of you guys because speaking to the voters, like you want to be able to put different people in power every 4 or 8 years if they get two terms. It helps to keep them honest, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all your tax money that they're using. And then they're basically, if you only have one party, like say you guys fought it and you held on to power, but you didn't, 7 million votes short of holding on to power, and of course that would upset those extra the other the other side of the coin. Also, what would you have then? If you put yourself in power, then maybe you could use the army to keep it or whatever. What do you got? You got a dictatorship. Is that what you really want? Because what happens with a dictatorship? Once they're in power, they can just start putting pressure on whichever the other group of people that didn't really support them, make their lives miserable. So then they're going to rise up, and then so maybe you're going to end up having that civil war. Maybe you will anyways. But who wins from the civil war? A lot of you are going to die then, or your children are going to die. Your wealth. A lot of the towns and cities will be destroyed, literally. That's what will happen. You have a war, right? Things will get bombed. People will die, and then it's the Hatfield and the McCoys all over again, right? It's like on a large scale. You did it to us, we do it to you. Now you've done it to us, we do it to you, and that keeps the people fighting amongst themselves and not reaping any of the benefits of what you have as a great country, right? You can produce stuff and you could easily have rebuild your middle class stronger than it is, because if you think about it, your big erosion came from your stock markets and that from very wealthy people packaging up your homes and stuff into crap and then selling them around the world. And that's why you got all these boarded up homes that some portions are owned by people in different countries that the home's value is no longer there. And if you live on that street and you have a nice house, you're surrounded by old boarded up homes that are getting looted and damaged and burnt. So so what happened there? Wealthy people, and they were making big bonuses, and I'm sure you guys know it better than me, but my understanding is basically they were selling the risk off, and so they could keep saying that on paper they had money to loan, so they could do more loans, and all the risk end of it, where you had to have the money to pay for those loans, they were farming it off to other people who thought, oh, this is good, it's all packaged, it must be safe. Of course, the crash happened, it wasn't safe, right? And nobody went to jail for that. I don't think, like, no upper richer people went to jail. In fact, a lot of them were, the companies, the banks were supported by your tax dollars. They were bought off. So I think, stop being fooled. Stop hating your neighbors. It's okay. It's actually good to lose. Your independence. You need more of them. Get a third party. And then that way, when the two parties are butting heads over stuff that, like infrastructure, stuff like having your bridges fixed, that road put in that you need, or that hospital put in that you need, that, the independents, or whatever they call themselves as a third party, can get in there and help carry the vote to make it enough to get the job done that you guys want done for the people of whatever state or all your states, if it's federally or statewide. That's what you need to do. Like, stop being fooled by people that have special interests, that want things a certain way, and basically keep the thumb on you, because they're actually bullshitting you, all right? I mean, you don't have to have a high IQ to know that, wait a minute, what's happening with the dollar right now? Well, he's getting all his bills paid for, but he's got an account for that. Oh, and he's getting a whole bunch of money towards running it. Whether he runs or not, he's getting all this money. He's the guy who's got the money. He's the guy who doesn't need the money. What about all you guys that are going to, in front of judges and that? Hopefully someone picking up all your bills. A guy like Donald, hopefully he's picking up all your bills. Somehow I don't think he parts with the money as easily as he takes it in. So I think he was a bad apple for you. And so what do you do? I think this election around, you guys should actually, and you won't do it, but I think you should actually send a message to the GOP. Like, no, we're a party that's, we're a proud party. We can win with our ideas. We can win. Like, you guys, it's a misconception that GOP does the old, oh, we're just a white group, so we got to, suppress the vote, and that's the only way we'll win. That's bullshit. There's tons of Spanish that want to vote and see themselves as GOP. There's people around your country that see themselves as more than one party, and want to actually vote back and forth when they don't like what one party's doing over the other. If government pressure seems like it's too much from the Democrats, they'll vote GOP. Give them a chance. Trust yourselves. Get some ideas out there. Don't not give them a bottle of water. Don't have a town of millions have one entry box, pellet box that they can drop off at. Like, don't do stupid, embarrassing things that would they'd be considered third world anywhere else. You would consider them. You'd laugh at them. Say, what a third world country? What a back-ass country. What did Donald say? What a shithole country, right? Yeah, that's crap. Like, so by going back and forth, maybe getting a third party, you can throw out bad apples when they show up, regardless of who they are. Maybe your bad apple will be a Clinton. Maybe it'll be a Donald. And start supporting those that are actually trying to do the right stuff for the whole. I mean, like, both sides have, I call them poison pills. They got people in the other party that are basically theirs, and when they need to, they just reel them in and say, okay, you're going to help us on this one. Gerrymandering should be done away with. The having to have the extra votes is the joke. Like, how can you get anything done then? Because, one party just puts their foot down, and the other party's going to say, well, you want us to work with you, but you didn't work with us for 4 years, and now we're not going to work with you for 4 years. And nothing gets done except when you want to push through more money than was asked for. Was it 200 extra million put through on billions and billions of dollars for your army? I think that one just went through. Both sides voted that through. I mean, tongue in cheek, do you not think your people know that, like, and people who I was talking to originally here, do you not know that this stuff goes through and then all of a sudden they can't fix your bridge or give you your hospital? But they can buy some more tanks and planes. That's not a problem. And who are they going to use those tanks and planes on? Well, it looks like the tanks are going to be used internally. I mean, they don't travel very well on water, do they? So it's not like they can ship a whole bunch of them anywhere without having a real place to ship it to, like a place where they're actually going to have a war. So nobody's going to let them land it in their country. So, I guess Mexico and Canada, but hopefully you guys aren't going that route. And by the way, Canadians are smart enough that we're going to keep staying friendly with these other countries you don't want to stay friendly with. But we can't trust you. You can't trust you. You guys can't trust each other. You can't trust your government. You don't trust one party over the other. You guys are running around all skittish. And you're giving little boys that teenagers carry machine guns, and if they shoot people, you're letting them off in courts. And you might say, he was chased. And he had a right to carry a gun. Well, no, he's a teenager. And if you had a car and a guy had a couple drinks in him, only a couple, but he wasn't paying attention, ran a stop sign, tagged someone, that person died, he'd get at least manslaughter. Wasn't intended, wasn't actually drunk, but had a beer or two, but not over the still blew fine. Just wasn't paying attention. There would be at least a manslaughter. Not nothing. Not like, we're gonna reward him for the one party because we made it political in Congress. Like, just think about it. If it was your kid that got shot by some kid, you'd be like, I'm not happy about that. I don't care if he's my party or not. I'm not happy that my child's dead because this kid was sold a gun and obviously wasn't mature enough. Wasn't mentally mature enough to not put himself in a situation where something might go wrong. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you guys don't go to have civil war. I hope you learn to accept when you lose, and when you lose, it's not a bad thing. It just means that you try again, maybe pick a different leader. And I do think both parties are capable of winning, and I think your people will vote. But they won't keep voting one party in anyways. So GOP, you don't need to go the suppressing the vote route. That's just stupid. At the end of the day, it might get you an election, but then it'll be the fight back at the other side and back and forth because you guys just can't seem to understand that you're supposed to be there not for those people paying you money behind the scenes. You're supposed to be there for your people. You're supposed to actually love your country, love your people, love yourselves, and be happy that your children's and your children's children, there will be a middle class for them. And that middle class will have money, and that money will be used to buy all the things the greedy guys want you to buy anyways. All their planes, trains, and automobiles, their houses, their furnitures, their holidays. All those things take money. So you need a middle class. And then when you drive the streets around, you may have the nicer mansion on the street or at the end of the block, okay, and you got the land. But you'll be passing a lot of laughing, joking, people that are enjoying life. They can put food on their table. They can raise their children. They can send them to school. Everyone, kumbaya, is having a good time in life. That's where your greed should go. Greed for a good lifestyle for yourselves and for your neighbors too. For the more countries that do well, the better everyone does. Right? All right, I preached enough, right? Danny Gamble. Probably nobody sees this one, but we'll see. Cheers.